AV SuperFriends On Topic is an independent production wholly owned and operated by AV SuperFriends LLC. For the highest quality recording of all of our shows, visit avsuperfriends.com. This is AV SuperFriends On Topic, a 30-minute monthly roundtable focused on a single topic. This discussion will be opinionated, to the point, and saturated with our well-known blend of painfully won expertise and deeply ingrained immaturity. Whoa, levels are all over the place. Sorry about that, folks. That is very strange. Why is it doing that? For May, is it May? Yes, for May 2025. This is the best sounding podcast in higher ed. This is the AV SuperFriends On Topic, episode number 58. With a new audio system, not entirely, but just reconfigured a whole bunch of software.
New to you.
And still some lingering effects.
Mine's the same as before.
Oh, we know.
Broadcasting live from coast to coast and everywhere in between, transmitting across time zones faster than crappy hotel Wi-Fi, from the back of the rack to the front of the house, pushing buttons, flipping switches, and turning knobs. I'm Chris Dector, and you're tuned in for another Friday afternoon podcast adventure. And let's say hello to that panel of AV SuperFriends who showed up today, because somebody's not here. Some sort of family vacation.
It was me. I'm not here.
Oh, really? Okay. So let's start with this. So we're joined by a senior fellow of cable management ethics and adhesive governance from Kansas City, Mr. Jamie Reinhardt.
We do not cover zip ties.
Correct.
It's out of bounds. Not in your jurisdiction, sir.
No, just
Free
adhesive.
Free advice for any integration firms out there. If you use zip ties, I hate you.
Yep.
Also joined by the Director of Predictive Downtime Avoidance from Corvallis, Oregon. Say hello to Mark Kolozinski.
I can tell this is going to go south. I'm telling you right now, this whole thing is not going to end well.
You're supposed to predict avoidance.
Doesn't matter.
And then finally joined by our Chief Officer of Acoustic Transparency and Echo Neutralization from Bowling Green, Kentucky, Mr. Justin Huxley.
You know, I like that so much, I've already changed my email signature. That sounds fancy as shit.
All right, then.
Don't you think? It sounds real.
It's very dignified. It makes you sound very dignified. I think that's
Lots of math, physics.
that's like the
I like
perfect like that's the kind of thing that some higher whatever institutions gonna be like, hey, we brought in this guy. He comes in with a briefcase. And look at his title.
Yeah.
You say
You just sit. You don't say anything. You just sit there and take notes.
Just lick his title right there. Just lick it.
The entire time you're taking notes, and every once in a while you go put your ear up against the wall, and you're like, yeah, that's exactly what I thought. And then you don't even say anything. You just leave and you just send them a bill.
You got to get really close to wherever they're talking.
no.
Be like,
At the
I
end-
want to get the original source.
Mm-hmm.
I want
At
to
the
hear.
end, I'm going to pop a
directly.
balloon and then just walk out.
You pop the balloon, look at your phone,
You're gonna look at a stopwatch.
and then you leave.
Pop a balloon, look at a stopwatch, make an inscrutable mark on your clipboard, then leave.
Yep.
You-
37 milliseconds. Got it.
Mhm. Yep. Get a phone, Chuck. It's
Yeah.
worse than you would have thought.
Yeah,
And just leave.
Use phrases
Yeah.
like, "Ooh, there's some work to do in here,"
It's going to be six figures.
Easily.
and that's just
No,
the
you
estimate.
have to get your six figures before you ever come to that meeting.
Yes.
That was the fix is going to be six figures. The
Justin
pay
doesn't
is
get
already
off the bus in the morning for less than six figures.
It's very
I don't know what bus
transparent
that
about
is.
that.
But
All right,
You're
so
riding the bus
every day.
on today's show, we're going to discuss all sorts of nonsense that we do around commencement, because that's the theme for this month. We're still on these themes every month for the On Topic show. And our theme for May is commencement, because either in May or in June, you are commencing to commence. And different schools handle that different ways. And we'll talk about all the machinations that we go through for these full productions of commencement and the commencement-related activities. But first, some housekeeping. So, first of all, if you're listening to this as a recorded MP3, we do stream live on Fridays at about 3:30 Eastern, 12:30 Pacific, or whenever we get this whole act together. You can join us live on Twitter, LinkedIn, and YouTube, and eventually Blue Sky when they get their act together and actually allow streaming. So, and if you can't join us live, we still want you to connect with us on the socials. So follow us on Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube, Blue Sky, all those fun places for our latest updates. I would give you all our usernames, but it's some variation of AV SuperFriends, so use the search box and figure it out. please spread the word if you can.
Passwords.
If you could go out in the street at night and lay in wait behind people's cars for when they come out in the morning for their morning commute and jump out and stand behind the cars until they subscribe to this podcast, that would be fantastic.
For those of you who have those new smart vehicles that can play different tones, we'd like you to play our entire podcast episode as your horn and or some other tone that you can
As
have
you're
at
reversing
large
in the
as you're
parking lot.
driving.
Can you
that's
customize
right.
horns?
You mean
Oh,
a
yes.
radio?
Oh my God,
Wow.
yes.
My truck is old enough to vote, and it has a mechanical horn, so figure it out.
It's fine. But yes, somebody please put the AV SuperFriends as your horn, send us a little clip of that, and we will play you live on this show. Anyway, carry on, Chris, what you were saying.
That's actually a really good idea. I do like that. If you'd like to support all this nonsense and our advocacy of non-standard, non-approved horn noises, please consider donating. You can find those links on the show notes to this very episode that you're listening to right now, or on the website. There's links all over the place. Your contributions help us to keep bringing you this nonsense and all that fun stuff. We still do want to hear from you, so if there's a topic you'd like us to cover, if you'd like to yell at us about how wrong we were about something, or if you'd like to vehemently agree with something we said, please send an email to mailbag at AV SuperFriends, or use all those social media links, all that fun stuff. And finally, while you're listening to us on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you're getting all this stuff, please leave a rating and a review. That does bump us up in the algorithms. That puts us out to more people, and that's how we end up on these lists when they say, here's the top 1 million podcasts in any such category, and we're up there at number 70. And people are like, how the heck did you get up there? And I'm like, it's called quality and repetition. And
Or
paying
there's
off
only
the right
80
people.
We're
players
just
and we're
outliving.
70.
We're outliving, folks.
Well,
it doesn't.
there
What's
is
it
Quality
mean
is
when
the same.
When we
Just
just accidentally
outliving.
find that? We're like, oh, we
People
made
tell
a
us.
list.
We're like, oh, we didn't even know. Yeah.
Consistency is a huge part of it, Justin.
We
So
appreciate that.
We do
Everybody
outlive everyone else
who's
who's
watching
tried
and
this.
involved with this. We appreciate that. That's great. And thank you.
All right. So let me start our timer, which I always forget to start. There we go.
Bang.
Mr. Timer's going to keep us honest there. And we're going to sneak in a news topic here because there was some big news this week about our favorite AV stuff, which means we get to hear Justin sing along with the jingle live.
Yeah.
He's a ventriloquist. His mouth didn't even move.
That was the worst Muppet show I've seen.
Do you watch that
I don't
regularly?
even know if he's listening to us.
The
at this point.
Muppets?
I think Justin's doing other work.
His mouth didn't
I'm
even
doing-
move.
I'm doing both. I'm a little behind.
Okay.
Show title?
I'm engaged.
I'm doing both. Little from behind.
That's not what he said. That'd be better show title.
No, but that's okay.
Anyway,
All right.
so this news story comes from the Register, who does all sorts of interesting work related to current events and technology-related fields, and it says, "Daddy of a mistake by GoDaddy took Zoom offline for about 90 minutes," and this was on Wednesday, I think.
Something like
And
that. Yep.
those of you who are heavy Zoom users on your campus, or in my case, it turns out our entire call center uses the Zoom VoIP call center application.
Oh.
That all broke. So it was great. It was a quiet, like 2 hours on campus because people couldn't report that there was a problem because the people they
didn't-
reported
it wasn't
to.
it didn't just shut off. If you were in a meeting and everything, you didn't know anything changed. It was new meetings could not happen. You could not find it, and that so it was very odd the way that it went down. So it was reported weird, and we were planning. I think we were in the middle of a conversation over Wednesday planning sessions when this.
Yeah. Speaking
all
of
took place.
reported weird, so what happened during our planning session? So your weather channel radio
Weather
thing started
channel
going
radio.
off, which it sounded like, and I was like, "What is that?" And Mark's like, "Oh, well,
It's
we have an
IMT.
emergency broadcast system that the
And you guys
Zoom's
were like,
down." I'm
"What are you
like,
talking about?" And I
What
said,
are you
"Well, let's talk
talking
about
about?
let's
Zoom's
talk about
working just
ITSM
fine."
for a moment. What a great time for us to jump into ITSM and
Yeah.
incident management. I mean, don't we all just love to talk about incident management? Isn't that what we're living for every day? So our university has a maturing incident management response system, and part of the IMT, we get phone calls and the like, and all the different modalities of reporting. And my phones were ringing and messages were going off in Teams. And in the middle of that meeting, I picked it up and put it on a microphone so that you all could hear it in real time. And that's when we all
Sound like a
learned
weather radio.
that Zoom was reported as out.
So your every class or anybody subscribed.
No, you're
to
going to
your
ask me about the
emergency
threshold here.
response.
Yes.
So how much disruption did it cause besides the disruption?
Not that much. It's not everybody. It's really
Wow.
managers and folks that need to report that. And if you have effective
People
services,
who think they're important, Jamie.
yes, that's why I have
See,
it. I'm not really
ours is
important.
basically all or nothing.
Oh, it's you all know or nobody knows.
So you have two
No.
levels of criticality: normal operation,
Yeah.
hair on fire.
It's yes, there's snow, ice, wind.
We had all that this morning, and
We
the
have
university
wind.
didn't even say anything.
Didn't even care.
My trees are
Yeah.
blowing right now. We got wind.
No,
here in
seriously, it
Kentucky.
was like 17 degrees today, 6 inches
No.
of snow, and they're just like, whatever. It's called Friday.
There's like a
Yeah.
back channel incident reporting thing, but
Sure. I mean, there's a lot of that too, but it definitely cascaded pretty quickly. I think it even caused some listserv debauchery was going on too. I saw several, oh my God, Zoom's out. And it was just respond. And it's like, of course it is. It's for everybody. And so it was, it's always fun when that happens. Right?
So this is like when you live downtown and the power goes out, and the first thing you do is open a window and yell, "Hey, is the power out?"
Mhm.
And everyone just yells back.
said,
So
"No,
you're
you
saying
didn't pay
it's
your
the same sort of
bill."
thing.
Yeah.
You can just look
Right,
around
that's-
and see if lights are on too. You don't have to yell.
Yes.
Just-
Nope. You throw open that window
No.
and you yell, Justin.
like when the internet's out in my neighborhood because everybody ends up in the front yard looking
Your,
around.
your front yard?
Looking
What'd you
around
do,
like,
Jamie?
Where's
Looking
the
at
well,
internet?
their
Jamie,
own.
it's
They're
that-
like,
Is that what you guys
hey,
do in
Jamie
Kansas
got
City?
in.
Like what? Where's the internet? I don't know. Where'd it go?
Well, you never know.
Like,
What if there's a
There it is.
tornado we got to watch?
It's not a series of tubes, Justin. It's more complex than that. But it does run through Jamie's house.
Not much complex than that.
It's-
So anyway, yeah. So those of you who are teaching and are about to teach or had other critical business cases using Zoom around noon Pacific time on Wednesday, you knew what was going on, and or you're wondering if your network was broken.
It's
What do we do?
interesting. I'm reading through this article here on the Register, and there's a comment here. Cisco's Thousand Eyes observability outfit. Wow.
Mhm. That's like
Just
a
call it
Justin
an
title.
incident. Just
Yeah.
an incident response team or something. But anyway, they analyzed the incident and picked it as a DNS problem that meant top level domain name servers did not have the records for Zoom.us. So somebody was like
They didn't pay their GoDaddy bill.
deleting your old domains and like
Yeah.
Zoom US.
Who needs that? It's .com, right? No.
And if anyone has ever experienced that, even like on a building level or maybe a partial campus level of somebody swapping a switch and forgetting to reload the config. Yeah,
that
it's
doesn't
that
happen.
kind of thing.
That doesn't happen, Chris. Come
I
on.
know it.
It's
I know it
never
doesn't
been
happen,
work.
but because that causes a whole cascade of all the other devices that talk to that device. Now you've got, so this sort of thing, even if this was fixed in minutes, if somebody like 2 minutes later, whoops, and re-updated, it's already propagating, and you got to wait for it to propagate a second time. So that's why it went on for like
Nice.
90 minutes. So apparently Zoom's official instructions were going in and flushing your DNS cache
Yeah,
manually,
trash your cache and go try again.
which I started at one in a campus, and I'm still working on it. We'll get there eventually.
We'll get there.
So-
Yeah. Still out for you in certain spots.
We just got Zoom. It was great. For a day.
Oh wow. Well,
Anyway.
wait till you see the AI stuff. You'll be blown away.
Different team runs it. Don't care. So anyway, so joys of software-based AV is, or let me rephrase, joys of cloud-based AV.
Cloud-based AV.
Yeah, I'm certain that's
you're
kind
not
of
in
more.
control of it. So
No,
No
and that's that. I think I've asked all of you knuckleheads at some point how much like is cloud service and internet a prerequisite to teaching and learning in today's modern classroom?
It depends.
And that's a yucky, sticky,
Mm-hmm.
nasty answer.
Well, it's like every now and then we'll get the support tickets, and we all get something like this, that the system didn't work, so I canceled class. And you're like, you're telling me
Mhm.
you can't figure out how to vamp for 45 minutes and hold a discussion. Worst case scenario, because your class is down, though most likely someone will be there in a few minutes, or it's already been fixed, or whatever it is.
Vamp
But
or vape?
But there is
You
a
mean
belief
like
that
vamp?
if you have a service that's offered in teaching and learning, if any of those services are down, is the room offline? I'm not
Depends on the
saying
content.
are you prepared to teach in a space or not. That's not what I'm asking. It's just a matter of if you're saying schedule your space based on attributes and capabilities of a learning space, and you're saying I need this space because it has full connectivity and cameras and microphones and Zoom and all that. If Zoom's out, does that space work anymore for you?
no,
don't
because
know.
we just closed the doors and locked it.
There you go. And they can vamp all they want. If people are at home, they're like, I can't hear this. Something seems weird. Doesn't matter how long or how loud you yell, you're not going to hear it.
Yell louder.
Tell
This
us,
is where
Justin.
clever people, if the entire world, let me rephrase, if that entire course and all the participants in it were run by 19-year-olds, they would, within 30 seconds, have an alternate location they're going to. They would have posted in their group text, and they would have gone over, and they would have pivoted immediately. But
they would have just
we're
used
not
a
quite that
hotspot
nimble.
and been done with it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Some folks were like, "Oh, we can just go to Teams and blah blah blah," and then and that in itself creates a whole nother knock-on effect of like, "Oh, now we're gonna have all these new SharePoints and all this other stuff." So it's fun. Let's just say that, to be honest. So kudos to everybody who survived it. If you had a class and you taught through it and didn't need it, and good on you.
I just yelled
have
really
a
loud and
backup
hoped
plan.
the people in the other state could hear me.
Have a plan. Put it in a PDF.
Put that PDF on Zoom and share it.
Yes, only share from the Zoom AI.
Oddly enough, when Microsoft services go down, and that takes out all of Office and email and all that, people are like, oh, cool. I'm going to do something else for a while. So
Just don't want to do email for a minute.
But Zoom, they're out there in the streets. People just tearing clothes and firing pistols in the air within 30 seconds.
Is that why?
I don't think so.
There was
I don't
nobody
know.
cared.
Based on some of these listserv comments, yes, I think some schools went right to Mad Max within minutes.
Yeah, I mean,
Really?
they're never coming back.
There was people out there wearing hockey
Dumpster
pads.
fires everywhere.
Yeah, things on fire, hockey
It's
pads.
like they won the Super
on.
Bowl.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Hanging off light poles.
Climbing up greased light poles.
Yeah, man.
We hear you, Philadelphia. All right. Let's take a quick break. We're going to run a commercial here. We're going to come back. We're going to talk about the nonsense that we do for all our commencement and commencing activities.
We burn couches here in Kentucky, by the way,
For commencement?
for Zoom being out. And commencement sometimes.
All right.
Waiting on a slate here. Where's my slate?
Slate?
There we go. The AV SuperFriends are sponsored by Computer Comforts Incorporated. CCI has been building tech furniture for the education market since 1987. Instructor lecterns, computer lab tables, collaborative tables, and active learning clusters are just a few of the many innovative products made by CCI. Speaking of lecterns, Computer Comforts has just released Evolve. If you're looking to future-proof your classroom, Evolve is the Swiss Army knife of lecterns. Seriously, this flexible lectern does it all. Not only is Evolve sit to stand and ADA compliant, it's also packed with tech-friendly features. And the best part, it ships fully assembled and ready for action. Check out the 90-second video to see all the options. Visit computercomforts.com/evolve. Sorry about the levels there. When I redid my audio settings, everything got reset, so I'm catching them as I go.
I didn't touch anything.
Well, I touched a
It really
lot of
wasn't
stuff.
that bad. I mean, it sounded
It came in a bit hot.
Yeah.
Justin, you've slowly just diminished for this show.
What?
Exactly. Okay. Anyway,
Um,
commencing.
Before we get to commencement, real quick, I want to try something, just because.
Oh, boy. Hold on.
Hold on to your
You're
butts.
Going off
trying.
script now.
Justin, you already heard this.
The timer's ticking.
I know we got time.
Okay.
The time police going to come shut us down?
Hey, somebody's got to. Like that
Usually,
timer's doing
we're
something.
still talking and the thing's just sitting there blinking zero because we've gone past the time.
Yeah.
All right. What do you guys think about this? We're just doing this live on the fly because it's
Oh,
fun.
boy. I hate it.
Support for the AV SuperFriends is brought to you by the Foundation for Advancement of Unplugged Technology, committed to preserving the legacy of analog workflows, passive HDMI extenders, and IP tables on shared spreadsheets. Celebrating over 25 years of turning it off and back on again. Learn more at fault.org. That's FAULT, because sometimes the problem is your fault. Support for AVSF is also brought to you by the Society for the Prevention of Redundants. Ensuring no AV system has more than two processors doing the exact same thing for no discernible reason. Because one processor really is enough. Learn more at racksandstacks.org.
I don't know about y'all, but my blood pressure went down like 10 points.
That was the
Sorry,
That
point.
was super relaxing.
Just
Like, replay
doing
that
some
tonight to try to go to
NPR
sleep.
nonsense.
I love. Yeah, it's very NPR. I like that. So,
All right.
soothing.
Back to
Generous
commencement.
contributions.
I do need to go to that Racks and Stacks because I've got that processor problem going on.
You might want to do that off campus.
Who knows?
Different type of club there, Justin.
Ooh, private browser open.
Yeah.
All right. So commencement is commencing to commence at some point.
I'm sure somebody's already got it done. They're probably out of here already.
They're probably, well, BYU.
By the time people listen to this, they're definitely, I've been on.
Doesn't BYU do theirs in April? Like next week or this week or something?
Wow. Sure.
Whatever.
Why not?
So it's always an interesting kind of conversation to have with other AV teams because at other schools, because some get very, very involved. And I think, Mark, you're going to kind of walk us through your huge amount of production you do for that.
Oh, boy.
Whereas for my team, if it's full on commencement or like guest speaker in a room that seats 30, the amount of effort we put into it is identical. Aim a camera, lock it off, done. Because it's just not in our
you're just no fun
in our service catalog.
You're not fun. This kind of stuff.
You want me to
Well, there's
go
another
next?
team on campus who does, big events like that. So I'm sure for them it's a huge thing, but for us, we're just firing a stream. So
I'll go next. We don't do shit.
all right.
You're not even involved at all?
No, thanks to Jordan Basham's group and WKYU and PBS channel we have on hand.
Okay.
That is,
You're is that part of your larger org, your IT org? Or are they a
No,
whole
they're separate from
sub-
IT.
Okay. All right.
there
Fine.
was talks about merging, but they were like, no, we don't want to be part of the dark overlord
corporate
people.
buyouts.
And
I get it.
yeah, it was a thing, and so they're separate.
P&L.
We get along. AV
yeah.
group gets along with them great.
Okay.
That's
Jamie,
my
what about
story.
you?
Jamie, what do you do?
Nothing.
You guys, shit.
We
See?
Yeah.
I mean,
roll right
years
there.
ago we used to try to help, but they, our production crew, they let go. I don't know,
Let
a
go
few
of them,
years
huh?
ago. Yeah, like we don't have one anymore.
Huh.
And so the worst we get is the administrative meeting rooms. We'll get the last minute, like, oh my God, we got somebody special here tomorrow. Can you make sure it works? Okay.
It's a dean. Deans are always special.
Other than that, we basically for a couple of years they tried to hold their own and just use their special event staff in whatever building it was in, and they would blame us when something went wrong the next day.
So you got out for plausible deniability.
And we basically told them, well, one, you have to replace the battery, which they didn't like, but that was the fix. Like, the battery in your mic died. That's not really an our problem thing, but okay. And two, if you want mission critical, cannot fail, show must go on, then hire it out. Hire a production
To
company.
who?
Sure.
A local
Who?
All the other companies are busy
local
doing
production
commitments.
company.
Yeah. Find somebody who's already busy that day. And
There's
So Justin's team at WKU, Jamie,
Yeah,
hire them
exactly.
out from under him for the
Yeah.
commencement. Just see what
just
happens.
get the
The
date
system
booked a year
has-
in advance.
the system has several contracts, and yes, they are booked out a year in advance because they already know what next year's commencement is, and and now they have somebody to blame, and it's in contract and it's in writing, and eventually they end up saving money in that particular case because we're not renting staging, we're not renting lights, we're renting the company for the event, and they yell at them, and I don't have to get yelled at.
Good.
Now, naturally, they try to cheat and use like the house sound system, and then I get yelled at because, by God, that didn't work. Like, well,
Told you.
that's their fault. They cheated. Did you pay for a sound system? Yes. Did you get it? No. Then that sounds like a contract dispute.
I think you're probably describing the situation that many folks find themselves in, and ultimately when they decide that, you know what, we're not going to be involved with this anymore. Fine. You guys don't appreciate what we did. We're out. And then you want to pay somebody else to do it. Go ahead and pay for them. And I think that's what happens.
You don't appreciate what
Yeah, you don't appreciate.
Well,
breaking
but
our
yes,
back to
I
make
think
this,
that's
and
what it is.
That's what
'cause
happens. I know,
We'll
you're
spend
not
a
wrong.
month setting it up, and then
Yes.
there's something
A
like,
month,
well,
shit,
you
that'd
guys
be-
suck. Well, we
Yeah.
only have 3 people. What did you want?
More, Jamie. It really shows your dedication to the students. It really shows.
more, but for less.
Yes,
So,
exactly. Next year we need more. We
And
don't have
faster.
nearly enough budget.
so you know, fast, cheap, good, but we want all.
We want all three of
Hey,
those.
Can we
Yeah.
go ahead and bring in a production truck? No. Hire a crew, brings in production truck. Oh, okay, park it over there. Thanks.
Good. I mean, hey,
We're out.
good. But,
I
well,
think it'd
okay.
be different if we had our own sports production
Well,
crews and things.
let-
We don't have those people, so it's just easier to do it this way.
Well, here and probably at other universities and colleges around the country, it is a big deal still. It still is a thing. And at Oregon State,
Commencements are a big deal, and
it's
they
a
are
bi-
a
it's a
thing.
it's
We
a
didn't get rid of
it has
that, Mark. We
historic
just-
context. We have had here at Oregon State some form of broadcast. When I say broadcast, over the air, going somewhere outside of the venue itself it's in, since the 1920s. Over 100 years of some form of broadcast happening.
Consistently? Like it's still on the air.
It's still on. You can still tune in. Yeah. And so
That's
the
a big
original line
commencement.
is still going. They are reading the names.
They're still using the same AM channel too. It's just...
Yeah. So we went on the air in the 20s for FM broadcast. And when television was able to be a thing here in the 50s, we started going over the air for television. And at Oregon State, every student will leave with their diploma with their name on it. So they will have their names read and blah, blah, all the things. So there's a lot of tradition into this. And so it is a big deal. It is a committee that puts us on. It is a year-long event every single year, monthly meetings, all the things. I won't get into all the single details of the meeting minutes for all those things, but we'll dive into kind of what happens.
Hold on. So
Go ahead,
monthly meetings on something that you do all the time that you know inside and out,
It's never exactly the same.
you could probably do in your sleep, but you need to meet monthly about it.
Yes. Okay. Oh, sure. Why do you do 1,000 drawings for all the shit you arguably do every single
they're all
day,
different.
every day?
They're all
Well, there you go.
So your graduations are different every time?
They are. They're all a little different, just like every one of your rooms are a little bit different. And so that's what it comes. There's always
Ours are
slight
the same.
nuance.
They
They're
just-
never exactly the same, as much as you think they're
Use the
exactly
same list of
same.
names and everything.
Like herd of
There's
people,
difference.
different names. Just go
Sizes.
by.
And you got to understand that just as the people who come into your design meetings and they want to talk about furniture all day long, just the amount of seats and which colleges are in the seats and where they are on the actual football field changes year over year. The class sizes change. So there's things that are coordinated differently, and then the different classes are on different
Could you
cameras.
keep
and
those
there's
the
different
same
streams.
so you can meet bi-monthly?
Maybe. So anyway,
Okay,
so what
I'm
do we
listening.
really do? What
It's
is
all
our
about
actual
efficiency, Justin.
our
Yeah, right,
involvement?
right,
So as part of IT and our media services and technical services group and classroom, we've historically helped facilitate this from back basically since we've had studios. So even going back when they were in our basketball arena, that's where our first television studio was. So we would basically flip all of that hardware around. This is like 60s, 70s to cover the commencement from basketball arena. And that's what they did. They would move all of that. It was OPB. It was Working Public Broadcasting, and NPR and all that stuff. And that's what we use all that technology.
Did you say NPR?
Yep. And NPR had an involvement in a lot of this. Yeah, bring it up. Let's go.
Oh, good Lord.
And so that's how it started.
Brought to
right?
you
We
by-
started doing the televised event based on that technology that was down in that stadium. And so we've built on that. And we had a large footprint of televised classes over the years. So we had a studio space on campus, and every single year we would almost go dismantle that entire studio and take it down to the football field or basketball arena to build another studio and broadcast these through 80s, 90s, and up until 2000s. That was kind of the workflow. We are actively involved with coordinating the subcontractors for the live sound. We do have a lot of contractors who come in and do camera ops, switching. We bring a lot of student workers in. It's a real event, so there's a lot of opportunities for folks to be involved. Today, it's technologically much different than it was back then. It'd be nice if we were still using old analog stuff. How fun would that be? But
Well, now
we
you're
use a
doing
lot of this.
video, right?
We're doing video.
Like that's a big thing. Video since the FM radio.
It is. Video is going to be a
1920s.
big thing in the future.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
can tell.
Wait,
It's
you're
catching
doing
on.
video on the FM radio?
It's amazing.
Are you using color?
Wow.
We are. Don't tell anybody. So now we leverage a lot of the technologies. We do produce for athletic events here. Part of our academic group. We contract and provide production services to in-venue experience as well as some of the broadcast pieces. So we leverage in the venues heavy fiber optics. So we're using course wave multiplexing, and we're bringing up all of our cameras. We usually do a 4 or 5 camera show. We'll bring those up into our studio space. Same thing. We're coordinating with the on-site sound contractor. So they usually come in, do racks and stacks on the floor. Different racks and stacks, Jamie. but
.org.
yes, racks and stacks.
Mm.
So they're covering in the venue, and we'll also make available the in-venue audio system to cover that as well. And we covered the entire commencement, not just what's going on in the stadium, but the lead up. So we're covering it as like a live sporting event, so to speak.
Tailgating.
Yeah, exactly.
way-
Yes.
Tailgating commencement.
Yes. We're
all
doing
the way
interviews.
to the
Grandma's out there
grad
just
party.
We are
crushing
doing a
Sixers.
show. We are doing a full show. We follow the the commencement party as they make their way across campus, and we have different camera shots along the way. You see the people's families.
Oh, you guys
that-
do the whole procession thing.
We do the
That's
whole
right.
procession, all of it, right? And
Oh.
so we are producing an actual show for this. So we're using our television studio and all that capability with remote cameras and contributors, all that. So all that coordination, let alone all the in-venue coordination. So we're kind of producing a stream, and then we're producing what you see on the actual boards in the stadium itself. And so, yes, it does take a year's worth of coordination, Justin, of 12
I wonder
meetings.
if Jordan's meeting monthly, because he could be. I mean, there's a lot of that goes on our campus. We
He
just
could
don't
be
do it.
meeting bi-weekly. Just you have no
He could be.
idea.
But
could be
it's
in the
a
thick of
big
it.
deal, right? And so, and when you get into like any televised event you do, like you have all that back end engineering needs and all the event show and all that script, all that stuff is real. We have
What happens
talent
if
that
it
comes in, they
rains?
do their
Gotta move
reads.
inside.
What happens if what's the rain contingency going to be?
Yeah.
We're going to change the show. How does that impact our infrastructure? What's it going to look like? So there's a lot of behind the scenes decision making going on. And yes, it may look and feel like it's the same thing every single year, but at the end of the day, you still have to coordinate all these little things. It's a PM thing. Like we are very much actively the project managers for
Perfection
did-
takes
commencement.
planning.
It
If
does.
you didn't have the production facilities that you have,
Mhm.
would you be doing it in-house like this?
We would probably be PMing it and bringing in a truck. We used to have a truck. So I think that would have been
Well, so
the de
because
facto way.
You,
you know,
guys
a
don't
lot
have
of,
a truck anymore? Did you like?
It
forget
still
where you
sits. We
parked
don't
it?
have. There's nothing in it. It's a big storage unit right now.
Oh.
Or
Yeah,
when I need
because-
patch bays and stuff like that, I can go rob from there.
I mean,
That's
we
called-
see
we
like
got those. They're
like
called trailer parks.
Yes.
No, he
So-
said he parked his trailer. not a
about this
trailer
time
park.
of year, we also see some of the posting of one of the perks of our department is we get to. I like Mike Peterson there at Iowa State.
Mhm.
You know,
Right.
his
Mike does a
department
lot.
helps heavily into this, but you know, it's my impression that most of it's that you know, image magnification, you know, IMAG systems for in venue only, maybe a
Sure.
simple YouTube stream or something to that effect. But you guys actually broadcasting it,
Mhm.
and one of the reasons that we contract it all out is we don't have those facilities.
Yeah.
But if we had the sports facilities that was already wired, it'd make more sense to do it that way. But
And I think that's the story, right? Is that oddly enough, our athletic venues don't have the capability to do this. It is our studio in the academic realm that enables this to actually happen because we are a partner with them and we provide them capabilities for not only their athletic events, but obviously it's a partnership, right? And so we are kind of subsidizing that capability. And when it comes time for commencement, obviously we're going to use the venue and then we're going to add the technology in there, some additional coordination with all the different vendors that are involved with that. And it is a big show. You know, it's like a big festival, right? So you're coordinating this giant festival. And it's a very complex show to actually go through.
Do you all serve funnel cakes?
I'm sure it's out there.
In Oregon, they're called elephant ears.
Elephant
you
ears,
said
Ooh.
festival, not a carnival.
yeah. Right. Well,
Oh.
it's a fine line.
They're the same thing here. That's
Yeah,
not.
Yeah.
Festival, you have to
difference.
sell overpriced
Right.
tickets and have.
But we're leveraging the technologies of the day in television, right? So we're massive Dante infrastructure from venue all the way back to our facility across campus, you know, on fiber network in that way. We're using SRT contribution and backhaul and streaming to bring that different outlets coming in and going out. So we're kind of contributing that way. We're streaming out to the different broadcast stations that want to carry it when those contracts are in place as well. So it's all of the things we're doing day in and day out kind of stacked on top of each other. And it's hundreds of people. There's a lot of individuals involved. It's all of us in academic technology. And it always falls at the worst time of year for me. It's always during InfoComm. Every single year. It's always at InfoComm week. And so
Graduate earlier.
right. And so it is not a small lift. And the university prides itself on it and prides itself saying, hey, we've constantly had this and we've done it year over year. And every student that will go across that stage will be on that show. You will see them. They'll have their name read.
Well, Mark, to your point, it is the core business of what a university does.
Exactly. So why would we not provide resources and
Whoa,
put
whoa, whoa, whoa.
our best foot forward when for many of those students that's what they're here for. Like they want that day, them and their families. For them, this may be
Hold on
the
a
first and
second.
only time they have it.
You mean it's not sports?
Maybe for some it is. For the athletes that are
Depends
going
on
to
the
school,
size of your
yes, it
school.
could be.
Depends. Depends.
It could
Wait,
be.
I thought we were only here for that.
But it's
Man.
it's fun. You know, we do kind of allow it to become a great opportunity for the students that are involved with new media production and the like. For those that want to, you want to be A1, you want to be an A2, you want to direct, you want to do all this, you want to technical direct. Those are real opportunities to have something on their resume that was bigger than just whatever project they were doing in their class. Actually went out and had an impact on thousands of people. So we are streaming online, obviously, all around the world. We have people contributing or watching streams in nearly every country around the world when it does happen. So it's very far reaching. And so people do see it, and it's high impact. And I think it is kind of the culmination and pinnacle of a lot of people's their careers at OSU. Like it is definitely something to be proud of, and it's a heavy lift.
So do you even break it down like into the shows, pre-show, show,
Yeah.
post-show, like a sporting event, like a Rose Bowl parade, like
Yes.
so do you have different crews for each of these segments of the show?
Yes, we'll have different operators. We don't have like thousands of folks on it, but there's camera ops that are going to be stage one, where the commencement procession is going to begin, and they're doing their ENG contributions piece there, and they wrap that, they run the next leg. It's like covering a marathon or something like that. If you're doing television production with that, or even a parade, if you've ever been involved with one of those, how that stage is through. So you build those shows. And all the while we do have our studio. So we have talent here. So we have scripts and we're reading, and there's banter going back and forth. And we're going to cut away, or we're going to go to Johnny out on the quad. And then they're going to show the parents out there. Then we're going to come back. We're going to read. We're going to have talent in the booth, bantering, giving you these little nuanced details of the historic context and that whole piece, and how big the different classes are this year. And then we'll throw it down to the field, and you can see the families coming in, and they'll put the people making goofy faces up on the board, and we'll see that. So it's a lively experience. It's a fun experience, but it is a show. It is a real broadcast.
Do you tape delay just in case there's a streaker?
We can control
That's
it.
the fun.
No,
It's the internet now, buddy.
Yeah.
Justin, I'm concerned about your use of the
For
phrase.
any of that, because it's live, like you never know, kind of
Yeah,
thing.
I think the natural delays that are built in, and we'd have the ability to move
Cut
that
away or whatever.
We have a director making a cognitive choice. It's not like we're stuck on one wide shot and, oh my God, what do we got? Oh no! Like
Follow
we just
the streaker.
go to a different
Follow
shot,
him.
different shot, right? And so it's multi-cam.
Put that behind a
It's
paywall.
Yeah. And so, but it's fun. It's hectic. It's a lot of work. And yes, we're down there building it. And we typically, it happens on a Saturday. We start building on a Wednesday, and staging comes in. It's just like a regular deal. You're building out all your infrastructure, put your cable out, build everything, proof everything, do your walkthroughs the night before. And then day of, everything blows up. And then it's fun.
That's why you're there.
That's what happens, right? And so
And your phone
it's
starts
everything.
sounding like a
It's
weather
all-
station.
all the audio, all the video, all the communications you would need in a full-on televised any event.
Yeah.
Well, that's a lot.
Mark, I got to ask, talk about the microphone in the bathroom.
Yes. So I don't know, we've probably been doing it almost 10 years now, for the national anthem and different band and choir elements. So we do live reverb, the Link men's bathroom reverb. It's credited also, reverb provided by the fourth floor men's bathroom. We set up a microphone and a speaker in there across the room. So we will route a mixed channel aux out into that speaker and create live reverb, and then we have a microphone in there. We'll bring it back in. So it's fun if you have to go to the restroom up in our production studio during any of the national anthem or anything, that you're there, and you can be live on air as well with whatever you're doing in that bathroom, as part of the natural
Some sort of
reverb that
water
we create.
leaking in here.
Yeah. So it's fun. So we do silly things like that as well, just to have some fun with it. And it is a nice concrete space that has Justin, for your title, it has an amazing reverb about it. It's very transparent.
Transparent, acoustical, echo.
it's there. So we use
Niner.
sometimes we use a matched pair of microphones in there to get a little XY action going on. So it's a very nice reverb space, but you got to have fun with these things. And we've been doing that for about,
You
like I
can just
said,
make that a
almost 10
plug-in
years.
now, right?
There's got to
No.
be a
Right.
We run a
Policy
snake all the way
against
down the
that
hallway,
somewhere.
all the way into the restroom, and then we we
You-
drive it and bring it
You're
back.
missing out. You could probably have the Link Reverb plug-in and
You're
sell it,
probably right.
and
You're
you would
probably right.
make a fortune.
Yeah, but it is fun. You got to enjoy little things and try different things, and that's what makes it a pleasure to work with, right? So I don't know if people have different versions, I'd love to see and hear about
Is
it. If you have
though?
questions about how we're doing
It's
it,
a
just go ahead.
pleasure to work with, Mark. Is
I think everybody, no matter what, when it's
on a
done,
Saturday.
everybody is always proud that they were involved and they were there.
Well, yeah.
Don't get me wrong, shit will go wrong. There's full on chaos, like every good show, and it's nice to actually get through that. And when we all get done, and we have beers afterwards, right? We break it all down, put it all
Take
away,
a shot.
We-
yeah.
pull all the guard dog up off the floor, which is the worst of the things you're doing, is all the cable troughs and peeling all that crap. It's labor. It's all the work, and it's humbling because everybody gets to do everything. We're all wrapping cable. We're all pulling up guard dog. It's all hands on deck, and it doesn't really matter what you do. It's the great equalizer. It's commencement.
That's some story you got there, bud.
And so, yeah, like I said, if you're ever around during InfoComm, you want to come back with me when I'm coming home to do a commencement. It's always the Saturday.
Yeah, because when I'm
InfoComm.
gone for InfoComm for a week and a day, I want to go somewhere.
You
else
want to come
for
out to
a
work and
week.
stay at the work
Yeah, I wanna
commencement.
work,
I'll put you down next year. I mean, we're getting ready to start
the
planning for next year.
Northwest.
You want to get in?
That first meeting's next week for next year. They
Yeah, I'll put
overlap.
you down.
Well,
I'll put you down as
Mark,
the chair.
How much? How much?
How
Like, I-
much?
How much?
Justin, you misunderstood a lot of what happens at the beginning here. There's no pay. You're just doing this.
Oh.
Right. And so
Hmm.
I'm sure there's other universities that are equally involved in doing their part and probably even more complex than what we're doing. And it's
I'm sure ours goes through a lot of that same stuff. It's just
yeah, if
we're not
you're
exposed to
not
it.
actively involved, maybe you just don't think about it, but it is a complex event for any university who does it. And I've been involved with a lot from different universities around the country, and some of the more complex ones were like Princeton University and like all, it's campus wide, multi venues and all this stuff. And so I know
Ours
a
is
lot of work goes in.
multi-day. I
Yeah,
think ours
exactly.
is 2 to 3
Multi-day,
days.
it's wild. So, and a lot of universities do that. And so there's a lot of behind the scenes going on, a lot of people involved, and kudos to all those that are actually making it happen.
Well, there you go. So for those of us who just set up a camera, lock it off, and walk away.
Or do nothing.
Well, okay. I was
barely
I was
recognize that it's
throwing the
happened.
dog a bone for this one here, Justin. But,
Yeah. And so
So for those of you who also do nothing, be sure you plan your bi-monthly meetings for your nothing planning event. Get those on the calendar because it gets busy.
or if you think you could do it better, go be involved, because I bet you they're always looking for people to jump in and help.
That's probably true.
Always looking for volunteers. So
All right. Well, any last thoughts on commencement? Congratulations to those of you who are graduating. If you're listening out there, or if you have graduating friends or family members, they will be taking the easy way out and just going right to grad school, so they don't have to worry about getting a job.
if there's any students for whatever reason listening to this, just go get a job in AV. You have the ability right now. If you're graduating and commencing, you do not need a CTS to get a job. Go find.
You have to get that on day
right
one,
now.
though.
Wait,
that's how it starts.
Where can I get good training?
Step
You already
one,
have it.
CTS.
First step,
First
Be
step is
willing
just
to
listen
ask
to this show.
if I can have a
You
job.
know how to do commencement right now.
That's a good point, Justin. So if you're a student who's graduating and you're interested in a job in AV and you're already listening to this show, you're already like
You're
head and shoulders above a lot of other people.
reach out
Then
to us. We'll help you.
I'm actively hiring, so
Jamie will
Exactly.
hire you
move to
right
Kansas
now.
City.
Mhm.
Can I work remotely?
Not with this job.
I heard him say yes.
I heard a yes. So
I heard a yes in there. He paused. So, all right. Well, let me roll this thing, see what the levels is on this guy. Oh, hold on.
And congratulations.
Oh, it's way too loud.
Nah, that's all right.
Well, now it's loud. There we go.
It's supposed to fade in, but it didn't. So, thanks everybody. We'll be back next week.
Another episode of AV SuperFriends on Topic. You can contact us with questions, topic ideas, or general complaints at avsuperfriends.com.
Nice work, everyone. Sharp broadcast. Really good. Everyone on the floor as well. Really a lot of hustle. I liked it.
The opinions expressed by the AV SuperFriends are solely those of the individuals and do not represent their respective institutions, organizations, companies, or clients.